Hi everybody, hope you guys can see and hear me okay and stuff. Welcome to Embroidery Happy Hour. Hope everybody had a great week and everybody is doing well. Um, First things first, couple of announcements before we get into our little shopping spree, okay? Where I'm going to be showing you guys all the stuff that I kind of use for my sewing and my embroidery. What I'm going to do is I have you guys on my MacBook. So I'm actually going to kind of walk around my sewing and embroidery area. And I want to point out certain things that I thought were like a really, really good buy. And some of the things that if I had to do it all over again, probably wouldn't have spent the money on it, okay? So the thing is, we do have Amazon Prime that's coming up July 16th and 17th. I did post on Facebook my list of things that I've usually have purchased off of Amazon. So if you see something that I have used in the past, it's probably on that list. But I'm not gonna really like post the Amazon links in the video description because I do have the Amazon storefront, so you guys are welcome to check that out. But I do want to show you guys stuff that I have picked up, and I'm even going to mention stuff that I didn't necessarily buy off of Amazon because I really want to show you guys what I bought, where I bought it, and also some of the things that I got, you can sometimes get it somewhere else, probably even cheaper. So I am going to mention that as well because I am really all about saving the money and making sure that you get the best bang for your buck and that you get the best quality of supplies that you need, okay? Now, you guys have heard me in the past also say that sometimes you don't really need top-notch quality for certain items, but there are some items that I would not actually skip on, but I'll also mention that on the item as well, so that way you can know, okay, I don't really have to for this type of purpose, I don't have to spend a fortune on, but for certain things, you may want to spend the extra buck or two because it's probably going to be better for you in the long run, okay? So, but before we get into those lists and I start walking around my room and start talking to you guys about some of the things, I want to make two announcements, okay? The first one is the Esther gift exchange. For those of you guys that have joined, first of all, thank you so much for participating in it. And please make sure that the gifts are made by July 15th. That's me including, because I'm still working on my gift. I have several of the items already done, but there are 2 more items that I want to complete. And I'm hoping that I can have them done by tomorrow morning so I can make it to the post office by noon tomorrow. If not, then they'll definitely be in the mail by Monday, okay? So after you put in you mailed out your item, I really would appreciate it if you guys went back to Esther.com and please mark that you did mail out your gift, okay? If someone is having some type of issues, like you don't know who the address or something like that, I've already had a couple of you guys do reach out to me that have reached out to me. Please do reach out to me. I'll make sure you get the right information because I want to make sure that everybody gets what they're supposed to get and everybody has a really great experience with this gift exchange, okay? I am still going to host it again during the holiday season because I had a couple of folks that asked me about that. I am going to do that, so don't worry. If you didn't do it in July, you will have an opportunity to do it during the Christmas. It is something that I do plan on hosting on an annual basis, especially the holiday one. This was the first time that I hosted it in the summer, okay, because some of you folks did mention that you wanted me to do that. So hopefully it went well, and we have a lot of fun with it. On July 26th is when we're actually going to have our show and tell, which is where we can all go live and we're going to show off what we got, okay? So I will share a link in the video chat when we meet on the 26th of this month. And what we're going to do is, you guys want, it's not mandatory, but if you like, you just click on the link and then you can tell me who gave you the gift and what you got, and you can show it off. So I think it's really a lot of fun. I have done it in the past with the gift exchange during the holidays, and people really love it. And there have been a lot of awesome things, a lot of great creativity out there, and it's really something that's really awesome to do. So I hope you guys can join us there, and you guys really have a good time. Okay, so the other thing that I do want to mention is our Facebook group. Our Facebook group has grown. It has over 4,000 members. One of the things that I do want to mention is I'm really not focused much on the number of how many members I have in the Facebook group. One of the things that I'm really focused on is the quality of the information that is provided in the Facebook group. That to me is more important than the numbers, okay? So one of the things that I am very conscientious about is I make sure that I monitor the members that join. I don't, there is a lot of people out there that are creating fake accounts and stuff. So I do weed those out. So any brand new fake accounts that I see out there, I always make sure that they're not included in our group. I also monitor what is being said, what's being shown. And one of the things that I do notice is that sometimes you have a bunch of folks out there that say that they're digitizers and they're not. And they go ahead and they post a lot of things. And one of the things that I do regarding digitizers is I do allow several digitizers to post on our group. Not all, okay? The ones that I allow, the ones that are actually on my recommended list, okay? So if you go under the guides tab of the Facebook group, you will see a list of digitizers that I trust and I know, and I have verified their reputation. The reason why I am doing this is not that I don't believe there's other talent out there. It's not that at all. It's just that I want to make sure that I try to keep people as safe as possible. There are a lot of people out there that say that they're digitizers. They truly, really aren't, or they are digitizers, but they just actually learned. And, some people are just taking other people's money, and, the quality of the work is not that great. And I want to try to prevent that if I possibly can. So I really, I just, want to put it out there that I'm going to be very, I'm going to continue to monitor the group, because my whole thing is that I really just want it to be good quality information for everybody, okay? I would like to see people share their work, their ideas, ask questions, ask for help. I do see that people now are posting personal videos of some of their successes and even some issues that they're having. There was a young lady that was having problems with the surgery, and she was asking for help, and I thought that was really great that she posted some of the videos so people could try to help her out to figure out what it was. And she was able to figure it out, and she was even able to post the solution, which I think is really awesome, because it actually helps people, because if someone got that same machine and was experiencing the same issue, then they can actually know that it's a possible solution for them as well. So I just wanted to make sure that, people have an understanding of where I'm coming from and how I'm guiding the group, and, where I really want it to go, okay? I don't want it to turn into a group where it has 80,000 members and the information in there is just not of any value, okay? Because that to me kind of defeats the purpose of it. Kind of like with the channel that I have now. The reason why I like to meet with you guys on Fridays is to show you something new, share information, and just, help people. Because the way I look at it is, if I help one person, I'm golden. I met my goal. I don't really care about the high numbers and stuff. I see that the channel is almost at 18,000 subscribers. So if you're new and you like my content, really would appreciate you guys do subscribe. And also, please do give me the thumbs up on the videos if you like the information that I'm sharing with you guys, or if you like the videos that I'm showing, because that does help the channel. It really does help with the algorithm, whatever that word is, with the YouTube channel. So, it really will help the channel a lot. So enough with the announcements, and now let's talk about our topic. And you guys that have watched me for some time know that I like to, the first hour, just do the announcements real quick, talk about the topics for the hour, and then I always like to go down the chat and, see what you guys have to say about what I talked about and shared, and also just say hi to you guys and just, have a good time with you guys, okay? So let's talk about shopping, okay? So I'm going to be talking about items that I use for sewing and I use for embroidery, okay? Some of the items you can use for both, all right? And some of them are specific for certain things, right? Now, as you guys know that have watched me for quite some time, know that I don't like spending my money, okay? I am as cheap as they come. I know a lot of people don't like when I say that word, but you know what? It is what it is. I am cheap, okay? I know that the more professional word is say frugal. Well, let me tell you something. I like to fight for my dollar, all right? So I always like to make sure that when I am purchasing something or investing in a certain item, that I'm getting the best bang for my buck, okay? Now, has that been true all the time? Sometimes maybe, but the thing is, sometimes you learn through trial and error, right? So that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys as I go through this Zoom and I start looking at different things where I had to learn the hard way, where maybe sometimes going the cheap way was not the way to go for a particular item, or I have went the other way where I spent a lot of money on an item, and then now that I use the item, I think to myself, did I really have to spend that much? Okay, I could have gotten that same item in cheaper, or making another route, or doing something different, right? So I want to share that with you guys. So let's first talk about the one thing that we all use, whether you're doing sewing or whether you're doing embroidery, and that is thread. Okay, thread is really important depending on what you're doing and what you're making, okay? Sometimes if you're doing something for yourself, it really doesn't matter. You can go cheap with the thread, or, if you are in an embroidery business and the quality of what you are doing, or even sewing, the quality of the product because you are selling, that's going to matter, okay? So in those situations, I would be very careful about the type of thread that you are picking. Now, why do I say that? Because not all threads are the same, okay? You got to remember, threads are made differently, and they also use different types of things. Like, for instance, the dye of the color of the thread. The last thing you want is for you to use embroidery thread, and you embroider something, it looks gorgeous, okay? You give it to the customer is like, ooh, ah, I love it. And then they go and they wash it. And then when they wash it and they put it in the dryer, after like the 4th or 5th wash, they start noticing that the brightness of that embroidery is not as bright as it used to be. All of a sudden, they notice that you have color fading, right? Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you know what? When does that happen? It happens when you kind of use very cheap thread. You got to be really, really careful about that, especially if you are picking bold colors. Just kind of like buying clothes. Like, think about this. You go to a store and you pick up a shirt and it's red. It looks deep, gorgeous red, right? You love it and you're like, wow, this is really cute. I love the color. You wear it the first time, the second time. You put it in the wash, right? And it's probably in the washing machine for like the 3rd time. Then you take it out of the dryer. Look at that red. And then you sometimes kind of notice, like, is the red look the same as when you first bought it, or has it started to fade? Same thing kind of like with white blouses and stuff like that, right? So just think about that, okay? Now, if the thread that you're using is not a very good quality, however, though, where you are sewing is good enough to hold the item in place, but it's not, it's not going to color fade. It's not going to be a problem with it or anything like that. Then you're okay with that, okay? So one of the things that I say is be very careful when you're picking your thread, okay? There are different prices, there are different brands. It's for a reason, and it does make a difference, especially in the world of embroidery, because in the world of embroidery, it's all about the thread. I mean, sewing is all about the thread too, but you got to remember, sometimes what the thread does in the sewing is really just to hold 2 pieces of fabric together, okay? But when it comes to embroidery, it is really the art, okay? Embroidery is the artwork. So that thread really should be golden. It should really look nice, clean, and crisp. Another thing that I wanted to show you too is something that I had purchased, which was kind of like a big regret for me, which was on the sewing thread side, okay? It came from a pack, because what I did was I bought a whole bunch of, and I found this on Amazon also. What I did was I said, you know what? I want a bunch of quilting thread that, different colors. I'll get a set. That way I have it handy. So if I ever need to sew with red, blue, gray, green, yellow, whatever thread, that I can go ahead and use it. Well, I went and I got it, and then I got this, and it was pretty economical. It was pretty cheap. But what ended up happening was when I started to use it, I started noticing something, okay? Now, I want to put it real close to the camera, and I'm going to do this because I want you guys to really take a look, and please pay attention to the top area, okay? This top area right here, this is what I'm talking about. I want you to really look close to it if you can. Now, I'm going to mention, if you look at it right up there close, you're going to notice there's a lot of fuzz, okay? Do you see that? You see a lot of fuzz? It doesn't really look solid. You see a lot of fuzz. The problem with thread like this is that what's going to happen is that you're going to end up with a lot of lint, okay? And it's not going to be really smooth looking in your sewing, and that is something that you're really gonna want, especially if you are sewing to sell. The last thing you want is to be sewing and then all of a sudden when you have your end product, the seam, okay, is gonna start looking where the thread is, it's gonna start looking like it's all fuzzy and stuff like that. That's really going to start to look tacky after a while, and before you know it, they're going to be talking about you. They're going to come out and say, oh, God, it was gorgeous when I got it, but then when I threw it in the wash, I took it out, it looked bad, you know? Quality matters, okay? Especially if you are running a business. If you're just doing this for friends and family, trust me, they're going to love whatever it is, whether you use cheap thread, expensive thread, they don't care, okay? Because all they know is you made something special for them. They're going to love it no matter what. So they're not going to be talking about you. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the business side. If you are selling the sewing products or you're doing embroidery, that is not the thread you want. You want to make sure you have very good quality thread. So, be very careful with that. Sometimes you can get very inexpensive thread, especially on the embroidery. A lot of times, I try to stay away from them for the simple fact that sometimes I'm really not sure about the quality. I have purchased some, and I've looked at it, and they look okay, but I will tell you this, okay? When I do the same type of an embroidery using a better quality thread, I do end up with a better finish, okay? So when I'm dealing with customers, best for sure, I use my top-notch embroidery thread because I need that embroidery to represent me and my business. I do not need any type of lint, any type of color fading or anything like that, especially in the world of embroidery, because it's all about color. It's all about color in embroidery, okay? It's your thread and your color and the way it's designed and laid out. So that is not the time for you to skip, okay? So thread is pretty important, okay? Now, do I buy my thread off of Amazon? Some of them, yes, I do. I do get Sim thread, and I do get Brother thread, okay? Those were the ones that I started off with. I started off with a 63 set, and it comes like in a box and stuff like that. They were pretty inexpensive. It was a great set to start with. However, though, as time started to progress and I started getting better in my embroidery, and I really needed my embroidery to pop and look a lot better, I started looking at other brands like Madeira and the Florina, okay? Once I started going to those brands, I have to be honest, I very seldom go back to the Sim thread and the Brother. If I do, it's because they have a color, a particular color. Sorry, just want to adjust in my seat. They have a particular color that I need. Now, I started with the 63 set, and then as I started to use all the colors and I ran out, and those ended up being colors that I use a lot, that's when I would rebuy those threads. But when I rebought them, I actually bought them using Madeira, okay? I really do like that thread. It is expensive. It is not cheap, okay? And you know what? I ain't gonna lie, prices are going up, okay? I mean, inflation is kicking everybody's butt. So things that used to cost $1 now is almost double and all that kind of stuff. So things are really up there, okay? So, you know, but if it's a color that I use a lot, usually what I'll do is I will get the Madeira thread. Now, another thing also is, let's talk about a little bit on the thread with bulk buying, okay? There are a lot of times when people, they go and they say, hey, I need to buy those big combs. I buy the big combs, and they buy all these colors of big combs, okay? As you can see, the big combs are right there that I have right over there on the side. Now, those big combs are pretty huge, okay? However, one of the things that I learned very, very quickly is not every color that you need to rebuy, you have to buy in that size, all right? Because it really depends on if you really use it often, okay? If you don't, if it's not a color that you don't use all the time, like every single time, don't get the big comb. Stick with the small comb, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up with that comb for a very long time. And you could have saved some money, and you could have saved some space too. So, you know, because you have to store these things. So one of the things that I really recommend is be careful when you're buying thread. Think about it. Think of it long term. Think about how you're using it, how you're using the thread. Does it have to be of good quality? If it does, go that route. If you feel that you have a particular color and you need to replenish it, but you're not sure if it's a color that you use all the time, then you don't have to go big, okay? You can go ahead and get the medium size, and, you know, and you'll be good, okay? So that's just something to think about, okay? You know, there was something else that I wanted to say. Okay, like for instance, let me give you an example of what I shouldn't have bought in the big color and what I shouldn't have bought in the small color. So I actually have you hooked up on my MacBook, and I want to walk over there and give you an example, okay? So I'm going to carry you with me, so that way you guys can see exactly what I am talking about, and then I'll just plug you guys back in, all right? So I'm going to set you right here on my heat press here. Don't worry, heat press isn't on, so you're not going to be hot. Okay, so I'm standing right here so you guys can see. I know I have the top of the heat press over here, but don't worry about it. It's about the 411, right? Okay? And I hope it's not too dark. But anyway, all right, so right here next to me, and I don't think you see it. There you go, right here, okay? These are all the big combs that I have, okay? So let me tell you, I have some regrets in some of these colors that I bought because I had no business getting them. And I'll show you which ones, okay? So I'm going to put you right back here. All right, so let's go down this line. Now, I use this color a lot, but let me see. Okay, I got this yellow. I don't use yellow that much, okay? I use it, but not as often, okay? Should I have gotten a big comb? No. I should have just got a medium size. Would have took up less space, and I would have had enough, and I probably could have bought like one a year, something like that, okay? Now, this color, brown, I use a lot of brown. I use this a lot for my kitchen towels and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to replenishing, I buy 10 of these, okay? And I am golden. And it's important for me to do this for the simple fact that I know that I use this a lot. So if I use it a lot, the last thing I want to do is be in the middle of a design and I run out, okay? So, you know, and then here we have, well, the gold I use a lot. Okay, then I have bought this bronze, okay? I bought this because a customer wanted it. I should have just got the small comb. Why did I get the big one, okay? This is different. This is not the brown that I use. It's a whole different, it's kind of like a reddish brown, okay? So it's not something that I use all the time. Could have went small on this too. So to me, it's just a perfect example. And you see a lot of beige. And as you can see, I'm almost done. I'm almost done, ready for another one, okay? And let me tell you something. There are some people that I have seen that when they get down to this, they take the comb and they just toss it away. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? I'm like, don't do that. Don't throw that out. I know it looks like a little bit. I know it looks like a little bit, but guess what? There is still thread in there, okay? There is a lot of embroidery that you can do with that little piece. They do the same thing with the bobbins, okay? I've seen people do that with the bobbins. They go, oh, let me just throw it out and put a fresh bobbin. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, don't throw it out. Use the bobbin to the very end, okay? To the very end. Be cheap, and don't be afraid to be cheap, okay? So, thread is, sorry guys, thread is a big deal, okay? You know, quality of thread, so it's a very big deal. Now, when it comes to sewing, I love to use this brand, which is the Girdleman brand, okay? I like it because when you look up close to it, okay, and I bought these right off of Joann's, and I even bought a little mini kit where it had a whole bunch of different colors, and I gotta tell you, they're really good. Very, hardly no lint, okay, very strong, looks neat. When I pull out this thread from the packaging, you know, first of all, when I squeeze on it, look at that. It's like you could tell it's not, you know, it's not solid. I don't know. I don't like it. You could tell it's very weak thread. You could just kind of tell. So to me, this was like a bad buy. I should not have bought that thread. But it's okay. I have it, and I use it for my stuff. For whenever I want to sew something for myself, I'll use it. However, though, if I want to sew something for someone else, get them in. I use this one because I actually like this thread, okay? So be very conscientious of that, okay? Because it's like I said, it's certain things you may want to spend a lot of money, and certain things you may not. You should go the economical route, okay? Now let's talk about something else. Scissors, okay? Scissors is something that is like so super important. And one of the things that I crack up about all the time is when someone in my family comes in looking for a pair of scissors, and for some reason, they think it's always okay to walk in here and just grab one. And I had to actually have a little conversation to let them know that no, scissors have purposes. And that's why I have a lot of scissors, okay? Now, scissors is something that you're going to use a lot. You use it for embroidery, you use it for sewing. And the thing is that you want to make sure that whatever scissors you get, it is of good quality, all right? Now, scissors also come for different purposes, okay? Some of them are just to cut fabric. Some of them are for embroidery. Some of them are for applique. And trust me, I mean, they're worth every penny in gold, okay? You even have curved scissors and stuff. I use them all the time. I will tell you, though, the most expensive scissors that I have gotten have been worth every penny, okay? Because they are really super sharp, and you got to be careful with them. That is one thing for sure, safety first, because they are like super like, oh, well, anyway, let me talk about the brands. Okay, now I have these scissors right here. These are applique scissors. They're a little curvy, okay? And they're applique scissors. I got these. They were pretty expensive, and these are the Karen Berkeley scissors, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. These things cut like butter and are very sharp, okay? I bought the whole set. I have this one. Let me see. Oh, I got another one over here. Hold on. Let me show you. These are the embroidery ones, okay? Look at how sharp they are. See, these are the applique. These are the embroidery. And look at how sharp they are. I love these because if you really look at it, look at the thinness of this right here, okay? This is like so good because that is one thing with embroidery. Sometimes you're going to have those little jump stitches between letters and stuff like that that are like really close. And you need to cut that jump stitch, but you won't want to cut the fabric. You need scissors that are very, very sharp and very thin on the tip, so that way you can get into there, okay? Now, what happens if I can't get into it? Well, that's when I get into these little snips that I have with the little hook. And let me see if I can find them real quick. Because, you know, whenever you want to show somebody something, that's when you can't find it. And right now, that's what's happening. I can't find it. Where is my hook? My little favorite hooks. Okay, I have a pair of snips. Hold on, I think it's in the box over here. Yep, here they are. Okay, got it. Okay, so here's a snip that I have, and these are very, very good for the jump stitches as well. Now, I'm going to hold it up for you, and if you notice right here, see how it has this little hook right here? See that? Right here on the top. Okay, now let me tell you about this hook, okay? A lot of times people, you know, if you feel by any chance that if you had scissors like this and you're trying to cut those jump stitches, and you feel that you might cut the fabric, Don't use these. That is when this comes in handy. Because of the hook, okay, what you can do is you can dig in there, lift up that jump stitch, and then you cut it, okay? That way you're not cutting the fabric. Because let me tell you something, once you cut that fabric, you're done, okay? You are done. There's no such thing, as gluing fabric together and all that kind of stuff. Once you cut the fabric, you're done, all right? So just something that to keep in mind. So it's kind of like I tell people, because sometimes people say, Jeanette, you got so many freaking scissors. What is going on? Well, every scissor has a purpose, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go through my scissors right now. Here's another Karen Berkeley scissors that I have. I don't know if you guys can see her name, but I'm trying to put it as close as possible. That is the brand, okay? These things are like super sharp, okay? Cost a lot of money, but they were great. I did get them from Amazon, and they are linked in my Amazon store, okay? So, these are really, really good. I went and I bought the set, okay? I bought one first. I bought this one. I liked the way it felt and everything. I thought it was cool. And then I went and then I bought the other two. Very good investment, worth every penny, okay? And got this off of Amazon too. I even got my sister a pair because I was really impressed, especially about that hook, okay? Because she sometimes does embroidery also. So I really like that because it kind of lifts the thread and then you can cut it. So I thought that was really helpful. So this is like really, really, really cool and handy. I got this off of Amazon as well. Now, these are the Fiskars, and I use these as well. These are the curved scissors and stuff. At one time, these things used to be pretty economical, but they are starting to get a little pricey and stuff. And I'm kind of, okay. Now, the reason why I like these is because, they are very lightweight compared to some of the others. These are a little bit more on the heavier side. So if you were kind of like to compare the weight of the scissors, sometimes, the more expensive ones I notice are a little bit on the heavier side. This is really, really lightweight. But I'll tell you what, these scissors, if you're looking to get these type of scissors, the Fiskar ones, collect those Joann coupons, go to Joann and get them from there with your coupon, okay? That way you can save more money, all right? I would not recommend getting these off of Amazon and stuff like that, or just going to Walmart to pick them up. Go to Joann's and use the coupon, okay? Because that way you get the best bang for your buck. Because my whole thing is, yeah, you want quality, but at the same time, you want to save money too. You know what I mean? So, okay. So then I also have right on here, and I also have another pair of these. I have several of these because sometimes I use these to cut the thread on my machine. So I kind of have like one for each machine and stuff. So then I also have these. These are pretty cheap. I would not buy these again if I had a chance. These scissors kind of fold. Let me see if I can fold them. They kind of fold like this. Hold on, like that. And then you fold like this. Hold on. They're foldable scissors, see? And they're kind of like compact and stuff like that. Now, what do I use these scissors for? What I actually use these scissors for is to cut felt. Not felt. Felt. I meant felt, not felt. Felt, okay? I sometimes embroider on felt, okay? So, what I do is I use these to cut the felt fabric. You guys know I messed up that word, okay? They're kind of like kid scissors, and if you notice the top of the thing, they are rounded on the top. They're not pointy or anything like that, but in order to cut the felt, they work great. They give it a nice clean cut, so it works. So these are the little small scissors that I have on the side. Now, I have more scissors, okay? So it doesn't stop there, all right? So I'm going to walk, I gotta check my battery too, because I want to make sure that I don't like die down while I'm talking to you guys. So let's walk over to my wall, okay? And I'm gonna talk to you guys. Ooh, excuse me, I'm trying to scoot over here. All right, so I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about some of the scissors that I have on my wall right here, okay? Because I have some scissors that are, as you can see, I have them right up there, and I also have them on my wall. All right, so let's talk about some of these scissors. Let me go grab them, okay? Now, I got this baby right here. This is another brand of scissors that I like, and it's called Kia, which is Kai, okay? They are pretty good. As a matter of fact, let me check it out so you can check out the brand and the number, okay? I don't know if you guys can see. There you go. You see that? Okay, this is the 7280. They're pretty long, and these are really good for cutting fabric, okay? Nice, clean, crisp cut. Now, I am going to tell you, pricey, not cheap, okay? Very, very pricey. However, best money I ever spent. I tell you, it's really, really, really good. I love it, okay? I use these when I have like a lot of fabrics, okay, that are kind of like packed on, and I need to cut a lot of layers of fabric. They work fantastic. This is the big one, and I am going to tell you something else. Be very careful with these, super sharp. Once I picked them up and I just accidentally kind of like, I think one of these points or whatever just hit my finger. Next thing you know, I was bleeding. I was like, oh, okay. So that was something that, that was pretty, I learned the hard way. They're very, very sharp scissors. So be very, very careful with these, okay? Now, let's keep going down, because I got a whole bunch of scissors. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be like, okay, what is up with her? What is up with her and the world of scissors, all right? I mean, she's like lost it or something. Now, I also have ginger scissors. This is another embroidery scissors. I like ginger as well, okay? And let me show you. These are, I don't think you can make that out. It's Ginger, ginger, or something like that, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I got these. These are embroidery scissors. Not a fan of these. Pretty pricey, and I kind of regret it. Now, I do have to play with these a little bit, because I do notice that the scissors has like a little screw over here. But I find that these are a little bit on the stiff end, okay? They're not very, they're kind of like hard. They're kind of stiff. And I don't like my scissors to be stiff. I like them to, I'm getting tongue-tied. I like them to really open and close very, very smoothly. So these scissors, to me, it's like, that's why they're kind of like hanging here a lot, because these are kind of be like, okay, I got it. I need scissors. I can't find anything else scissors. Well, this will be it, okay? Then I bought another pair, and these are round as well. They're very round, okay? I feel like they're rounder. I use these for applique. These are pretty good. They are not that bad. However, though, I will tell you, the orange scissors are really my best because of the lightweight and the ease of opening and closing them. This is a little bit on the heavy side. So I'm kind of like, it wasn't that great for me either. These these came, I think, no, I bought these. These are Kia, the same brand of this scissor is this scissor, okay? Because I wanted to give this a shot, because I wanted to see how this one works. I love these scissors because they have an angle, and these are really, really, really neat. Very lightweight. They open and close kind of easy. They have a little bit of a resistance to it, okay? But it's not that bad, all right? They are still lightweight. One of the things that I do like is that it does curve, so it has that kind of angle, but they are like the most superish, sharpest embroidery scissors, okay? They are super, super sharp. So the only thing that concerns me a little bit about these scissors is that if you are trying to cut a piece of a jump stitch, these points are so super pointy that I can really see somebody accidentally cut their fabric. So you got to be really careful when you are using something like this, okay? Now, this, you guys will not believe it, it's Cricut, okay? This is a Cricut scissor. And this was actually like when I first started doing sewing and all that kind of stuff. And I saw that Cricut had it. I really liked it because it had this little hoop thing. And I like the scissors so much. These are pretty cool. They are sharp. I don't get to use them as much as I like. So they're kind of backup scissors. Really don't recommend those. Now, let's talk about these next 3 scissors that I have that I use a lot, and I think they were worth every penny, okay? Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about these 2. These are called duck scissors, and I did see that someone in our Facebook group had posted about doing applique, or they were cutting patches or something like that, and they were using duck scissors, and they said I really love them because they make sure that I don't cut the stitches. Well, that's exactly what these scissors are for, you know? And I'm going to tell you something, I love it because of that too, all right? Now, the duck scissors, if you notice, they have a little bump right on here, okay? See how this is right here, this little blade? It goes up. So what it is when you are cutting, it's making sure that it's lifting the fabric, so that way you're cutting as close to the stitches as you possibly can without cutting the stitch. These are really, really handy, okay? Now, I do have 2 sizes, okay? I have the big one, and then I have a mini one. I actually purchased the mini one from the Sewing and Quilt Show in Richmond, Virginia. And I actually like having both sizes. I use this for when I am actually cutting applique, but when I am getting into those little tight spots, that's when I start to use the little one, okay? And I find the little one is really nice because the little one, if you look at it closely, it has the same type. There it is. See, I don't know if you can tell. They have that edge, right? So that way, see, you see how it is right there? Right there. See that? It has that edge. So that way, when you are trying to cut your fabric as close to the stitches as possible, you're not going to cut your stitches. You're going to be fine. So these 2, I'm going to tell you something, worth every penny. If you see them, pick them up. Make sure that you get good quality. This is the Ginger. Yeah, this is the Ginger brand that I have here. And this one's the Jamor, okay? It's J.A. Moore, okay? John Moore. And I like these 2. I actually picked this up at the Sewing and Quilt Show because this was a little difficult to find. I really couldn't find this in Joann's or Hobby Lobby or simple little stores. I actually, I found this at the Sewing and Quilt Show. So if you go to one of those events and you see something like this, scissors unique like this, I say pick them up because you're gonna like them. Okay, these were the first kind of different scissors that I purchased and love them, and I still use them, and it's a Ginger. And I love these because these curves like this. Now, Jeanette, why would you use these? These could have multiple purposes, okay? This you can use to cut applique if you like as well. But one of the things that I really love about these scissors, okay, they kind of look like surgical scissors, but what's really great about these scissors is when you have an embroidery flatbed machine and you need to get in there so that you can cut jump stitches, these are the scissors you want to use. I personally, like to cut my jump stitches as I am embroidering. Some people like to wait to the very end and then go ahead and start cutting it. Me personally, I just like to do it while I'm embroidering because I sometimes feel that you can accidentally forget about a jump stitch and not cut it because sometimes they're not easy for you to see through the eye because there's a lot of embroidering that's going on, and sometimes some stitches can go over the jump stitch and it just covers some of the jump stitch and not all of the jump stitch. So I like to just do that so that way I can make sure I have a nice clean finish at the end. So these are my favorite pairs of scissors for me to cut the jump stitches. I think they are awesome. They work, okay? So I think these are like really cool. So these are thread as well, okay? So let me show you some more scissors that I have here, okay? Hold on. Because, yes, I have more, okay? There we go. Got more. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm not finished yet. Just one more dive. And now I'm done. Okay, so now let's talk about these other scissors that I have. I'm going to put these on the side that I already told you about. and let's start talking. Okay, now sometimes when you're sewing, you use something called shears, pink shears or pinky shears, something like that. I have two. Now I'm going to tell you, these are the two that I have. These are the ones that kind of cut on a zigzag, okay? A lot of times people do that when they are sewing and they need to cut corners and stuff like that, or cut the edges, so that way there's not a lot of bulk when you're turning it in an item inside out. So these are from the Flixers or whatever, Fixers. There you go, okay? I know I'm probably pronouncing them wrong, okay? You know, my English is not that good, but I'm showing you the name, okay? So that way you know which one it is. And then this one is the Ginger brand, okay? So you see there you go. There you go. That's the brand right there, the Ginger brand. Yes, I have two. Now, let me tell you about both of these, okay? Now, of course, this thing is steel. So when I bought these, I figured, okay, I like that brand because I purchased scissors from them before. They're really, really good, and they're probably going to last forever. They're going to outlive me, right? So these are scissors that'll probably be passed on to my sister or my niece, you know, as when I go, right? Well, I'm going to tell you something. They're heavy, and when it comes to cutting, they are not exactly very, like, friendly. So I don't know if you can tell, but they're kind of like, you know, they're hard, right? So I'm not particularly a fan of this, okay? Then I went and I said, you know what? Let me go and purchase the lighter ones, okay, that are plastic. That's these. And let me see if I like these better. Now, I will tell you something. Not any much better do I like these. I just don't, you know, they're hard to cut with. Do I use them? Yeah, sometimes and stuff like that. But what I ended up doing was I ended up using another method, and let me show you what I do. And this works for me. This is the Ophi cutter, okay? And usually I used to have a regular blade in there. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can buy Pinky Smears blades, and this is the blade. Okay, this is the blade, and see, it has the zigzag just like this. It's very similar. It's not the exact, but it's very, very similar. Well, I'll tell you what, this works wonders for me. So what I usually do is I just make sure that I buy new blades, and I just change them out when I see that they start to go dull. I like this because what I'll do is I will just go ahead, pull it out and stuff, and then I will just, and I will cut my corners and my sides and all that kind of stuff, and then I'm good to go, okay? But this really, really works, okay? So if I had to do it all over again, I would not have bought this, and I would not have bought this. So my recommendation is save your money. Don't bother buying these. What you want to do is just take a rotary cutter, okay, and an old one or whatever, and then buy the blade and use it. Much easier on the hand, works just as fine. It's better. For me, it works a lot better. So this is the way to go, okay? You can get these off of Amazon if you want. I do have the link. It's all in all this stuff. If you're interested, all in my Amazon link. Or you can also go to Joann's, and if you have a coupon, go to Joann's. Try to see if they have it in Joann's. Get it there, and remember, if you go to Joann's, you get a military discount, and you also get the discount if you're a teacher as well, okay? Michael's might have them, because I have bought blades from Michael's. I don't remember if I bought these blades from Michael's, or if I got the regular blades from Michael's. You can get discount gift cards too. I do have videos on my channel on how to do that. You know, so, you know, something else that you can do. So just something to think about. Okay, now another scissor that I have, because boy, I have a lot. Okay, this is another one. As you can tell, this is the Ginger. Well, you can't see because I don't have the thing. Okay, this came with the cover. This is another Ginger scissor, and this is a dressmaker scissor. I have to tell you, I like this one. This is actually a favorite of mine. It is a little bit on the heavy side because it is steel, but I like the way it feels. Now, one of the things that I do notice on the scissors that are very, very stiff, all the scissors kind of have this screw over here. Now, I have not tried unscrewing the screw a little bit to see if that releases some of the stiffness that maybe the scissor has. I've even thought about just taking WD-40 and just putting it on the scissors to see if maybe that would help also with the stiffness. So that's something that I'm gonna have to try, and I'll probably videotape that when I'm trying it just to see what the outcome would be, and then maybe if the, maybe that will help me fall in love with those scissors, okay? Because some of the scissors that I don't really like, usually it's because of the stiffness, because of the way when you're trying to use it. Because the thing is, you want the scissors to be comfortable, okay? That's the thing. So these, I do like them because they open and close very good. They cut very nicely and stuff. And I really like that it actually came with a cover too. I think that was a pretty neat thing. Now, these two scissors are really cheap scissors. These are just scissors that I picked up from Amazon. These are very lightweight. I like the way they feel, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is my everything scissors, okay? I'm not very particular about the scissors and the needs for this, okay? I cut paper. I can cut thread. Any little thing that I just need quick scissors. The green and the blue handle. That's what I tell everybody in my family. If you need to go in here to get scissors, grab these scissors. You're welcome to them. All the other scissors, hands off. Don't touch them because those are specialty scissors. One of the things that I learned very, very quickly while I was sewing is that if you take a pair of scissors that you use to cut your fabric, you're going to notice that when you first buy them, they cut very nicely. Take those scissors and then cut a piece of paper and then go back and try to cut the fabric. You just dulled your scissors. You messed them up. So make sure that if you have bought a pair of scissors for a particular project or a specific purpose, keep it for that purpose because you don't want it to dull. If you want, just buy a pair of very cheap, economical scissors just like these. And you can use these for anything. Cutting templates, when I print out my embroidery templates and I need to cut them, these are the scissors that I use, okay? Now, I also fell in love with their Cricut scissors. Now, I'm going to tell you something. These are the fabric Cricut scissors. I like these. I like the way the handle feels. They cut really nice and smooth. Love them so much. Went and bought another pair. Okay, so I got two, okay? One of them was ruined because I went kind of scissor happy. I was like, oh, this cuts so nice and everything. Next thing you know, I cut paper and I had to go buy another pair. And I got to be honest with you, I'm going to have to cut a piece of fabric to find out which is the pair that went belly up and which one is good. And then I'm going to have to mark the one that is no longer any good for fabric. I'll probably put like an X or a little sticker on the handle so that I can figure out which one is which. Then I also have these scissors, and these scissors, I will tell you, I stole these from my husband's office. So this is his everyday scissor. The reason why it ended up being in here is because one day I needed my everyday everything scissors and I couldn't find this one or this one. So I looked over at his office because he bought his own pair because I wouldn't share my scissors, and this was his pair. And when he falls asleep, I'll probably go and put this back in his office, okay, so he can have his scissors back. All right, so those are the scissors that I have, okay? Like I said, in scissors, I recommend buying quality, but also, sometimes the most expensive scissors are probably not the best ones either, okay? Like the regrets that I have, like this one, I bought it mostly because of the name, because I thought because I like the other scissors, I would like this one. But because of the weight and it being so heavy and being so hard to open and close, maybe if I put WD-40 or maybe if I loosen up the washer a little bit, maybe it'll help. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you something. These are so heavy that it's not something that I would actually recommend, honestly. I really wouldn't. I really, when I ended up doing this was the best route to go. Okay, and the blades, they are, they're not that really pricey and stuff like that. If you can find where you can buy these blades, I think you can even get them at Hobby Lobby too. They're not that expensive, and they don't, you don't use these all the time, so they should last you a good time. So that's what I would do. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about pins too. All right, sewing pins. If you are doing sewing and you do a lot of it, okay, you're gonna need some pins. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. At first, when I started buying pins, I thought to myself, you don't really, you just buy a pack of pins and you're good, right? Why do they have all these different types? Well, I quickly learned that sometimes those cheap pins, there's a reason why they're cheap, okay? And then expensive pins, there's a reason why they're expensive. And right now, I can't find the expensive pins. You believe that? Okay, hold on. Well, let me show you the cheap pins that I got. They're right here on my magnetic pin holder, okay? Now, I'm not saying that these pins are bad, but I am going to tell you this, okay? This is the problem that I have with these pins, okay? Now, I'm not gonna lie. I bought them because I said, oh my God, these are so cute, all right? Look, they have bows, they have little buttons on them, the cutest thing, right? Now, let's take a look at it very, very closely. As you can see, very, very cute. However, let's take a look at this right here, okay? I'm gonna put this one away, but I want you to take a look at this. And I want you to look at the bottom. Look at the bottom area right here of this thing, okay? Now, I want you to actually look inside of it also. This pin is really stuck in here. What I have been noticing is sometimes this will come off. Now, I liked it because of the design. First of all, I thought they were very colorful. I thought they were very cute. I was like, oh, this is really cute. And then I kind of liked the design of the top because I thought, oh, it makes it a lot easier for you to pick up and pin your items and stuff like that. Sometimes what I am finding is if the fabric is too thick or something like that, these things will break, okay? They will fall off and everything like that. So it's like something that I kind of noticed. Now, I do have these by the bulk load, all right? Because when I went and I purchased my pins, I bought, let me see if I can find them here. They come in these boxes. I do have some other pins too to show you, by the way. They came in this box that was like so huge. I can't believe this. Now I can't find it. Really? Okay. All right. So now, you can't find nothing when you're looking for it. All right. I think it's because it's over here probably. It's probably right here. Hold on. I'm not giving up. Wow. What is going on? Okay. I can't find anything. All right, can't find it. All right, that's not good. Okay, is it here? Let me see. Okay, let me get my little sewing box here. Well, anyway, I do have another pack. Ain't that something? Can't find it. Okay, now watch it when I'm off the live. Then it'll be like, oh, look, here are all the pins. Okay, oh my goodness, I can't find anything. All right, so anyway, I'm having an off day. Okay, so anyway, it is what it is. So here are some pins that are a little more on the expensive side. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the magic pins or something like that. But here are some pins that I got from Missouri Star. And this was actually part of the 12 days of Christmas gift box that you can order from Missouri Star, okay? Now, one of the things that I noticed when I opened these and I looked at these pins, you can actually tell the quality difference of these pins, okay? Now, remember when, let me do a side-by-side so that you guys can see what I am talking about, okay? Now, I want you to look at this, okay? And look at the orange. The orange is the one that we got from Missouri Star. And I want you to look at the green one. And the green one is it's the one that I got that was pretty economical and stuff like that. Now, one of the things that I want to do, let me grab another pen and see if I can use this as a pointer. I want you to look at this area right here. Now, if you notice this dark area right here, this kind of shows you that the pin goes all the way up here. So what it does is it gives you a little more secure fit. Now, I do notice right away that these pins are sharper, okay? And that none of these tips fall off. And it's really because if you actually look at it and you compare it with this pin that I have over here, notice right here, this is the only area that's holding up the pin right there. See? If you can see the shadow, you can see it's just right there. But when you look at this orange one, you can tell that the pin goes from here all the way up, which means that this has more of a secure hold than the actual green one. Okay. Now, do these pins work? Absolutely, they do work. However, though, the heads sometimes fall off, okay? And, you know, that's kind of like a, bleh, you know? But it does work, and I will tell you this. I wish I had found the box because I could show you guys that I ended up getting a lot of these. So if you do buy these and you see that the heads fall off, it's really not a big deal because you get like so many freaking pins that, believe me, by the time all the heads fall off, I mean, I don't know, I'll probably be gone, you know. So, you know, but it works. So, and I do like the colors and stuff like that and everything. But if you are looking for really good quality pins, this is, I'm telling you, the Missouri Star really kind of has it. Or you don't have to buy their brand. But one of the things that I would do is if you're looking for pins that have those type of heads, I would really pay attention to how the pin is kind of ingrained into the head. You want to make sure that it's ingrained all the way in, so that way you know that when you take this pin and you are putting it into your fabric, this part right here is not going to fall off. Okay? So, you know, just something to show you guys. So, you do want to buy your pins in bulk because depending on the project that you're working on, sometimes you only need a little bit of pins, sometimes you need a lot of pins, okay? So, it's just something to think about, okay? Now, something else that I want to show you guys that I use for sewing a lot, and you know, and it's something that I know that I have gotten it from Amazon, but I kind of overpaid. But if you shop through Timo, okay, I recommend you get this item from them, okay? So here are sewing clips. A lot of people use these types of sewing clips, okay? I bought a whole bunch of them off of Amazon, the good quality and stuff, but I'm going to tell you something. If you go to Timo, you're going to see them a lot cheaper, okay? And they're just as good, okay? So, and I've got all different sizes. These are actually my small ones, and these are the ones that I usually use the most. I also do have a couple of these big ones, okay? Now, I will tell you, I also have these right here, and they're pretty big. And these are the ones that I actually got off of Timo, and they were pretty inexpensive, okay? Now, these big ones I use when I have a lot of layers of fabric that I'm trying to sew together and stuff. These are really good if you're quilting, stuff like that. But I only got a couple of them, but they work just as great. I really do like these. So these are really, really good. But honestly, guys, I mean, you could buy them off of Amazon if you wanted to. But I really think that they are much more economical if you go ahead and you get them from Timo. Because, so, you know, it's like, because it's really the same thing. It really, really, truly is the same thing. I don't see the difference in the quality at all. So my whole thing is why spend the extra money if you don't have to, because you can use that extra money on other stuff, okay? All right, so let me show you guys another thing that is pretty popular for me, that I use a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already have it, and that is thread huggers, okay? These I buy them off of Amazon and stuff, but you can also get them off of Timo as well, and sometimes you can get them a little bit cheaper. I have noticed that there is a difference in the feel of these that I've gotten from Timo and the ones I purchased from Amazon. But let's be real. What is the purpose of this? Okay, the purpose of this is so that you can take your thread, you wrap it around, and you don't have thread hanging all over the place. And you're going to take this and you're going to put it on. So even though there was a difference in the quality of the item that I bought off of Timo then versus the one that I bought off of Amazon, it does the same thing. So would I go ahead and buy the cheaper brand of the thread huggers? Absolutely. Because you know what? It's still holding the thread. So why are we spending the extra money? I mean, does it matter that one feels a little cheaper than the other? No, it does not. So just, just something to think about. The other thing that I like using a lot is this magnetic wristless. You can get this off of Timo also, okay? They do sell them off of Amazon. You can get them at Joann's and all that kind of stuff. But this the wrist, and then you can just take your needles, and it's magnetic, so it works great. Okay, and talk about magnetic, what I use here is a magnetic thread. I like these. I really do like these. Instead of using a regular cup or something like that, I like this because it really holds your pins securely. And it's the same thing with this. This holds my pin securely. I can easily just go like that and throw it on here, and it'll hold it, and I'm good, okay? I really do like this idea. This is really cool. Another thing also, let's talk about this. You can buy these separately, and these are actually wristbands, okay? I get them off of Amazon. I think you should be able to find them in Timo as well. You just slap it like this, and it goes around your wrist. A lot of times kids use this for games and all that kind of stuff. You know what I use this for? I use this for the big threads of threads that I get from Madeira, okay? I use this to wrap it around. Now, you could, if you want, use this on the big combs as well. But what ends up happening is because the big combs are so big, it will actually stretch this out, okay? And the next thing you know, it's going to be so stretched out that you may not be able to use them for the small combs because they don't really actually like stretch back. You know what I'm saying? So this is usually what I use for my big combs. And they work pretty well, and stuff. So I actually like it. Oops. But I just dropped my thing. So hold on, let me just get this. All right. But basically this is what they use with this, okay? So just something to think about, and stuff. Do you really need it? No. If you are in a bind and you're like, well, Jeanette, I don't got money to be spending for no wristlets, or I don't have money to be getting thread huggers. Hey, you know what a simple solution to that would be? Okay, go get some Scotch tape, okay? And just take a little bit of tape and then just tape the end of the thread to your thing, and you're okay. That's all. Just do that. Just get a little bit of Scotch tape. You don't have to rip a whole bunch, just a little bit, and then just go boop, and that's it. That's it. And then your golden is nice and neat. Those are another solution also. So, you say you don't have to like spend a whole bunch of money if you don't want to and stuff like that. There's always a way to save a buck and stuff. Okay, now let me look around. Let's see. Chopsticks. You guys know I always say that. Use chopsticks. Save your fingers. Seam rippers. Seam rippers, you can go inexpensive in seam rippers. One thing that I do recommend, especially if you are in embroidery, get a Peggy stitch eraser. That will save your life. Let me move you guys over here, back here. That will really save your life, especially if you mess up, okay? And for you guys that don't know what a Peggy stitch eraser is, I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? It's actually really, it looks like a shaver, okay? It looks like a shaver for, you know, for men, but it's for stitches. It's called Peggy Stitch Eraser. I have two of these. I have a cordless one, and then I got one that's corded, okay? The reason why I got a cordless one is that because sometimes when you make a mistake in embroidery, and you need to unstitch your embroidery, you're talking about thousands and thousands of stitches that you got to undo, okay? So that is a lot. So one of the things is sometimes I don't want to be in my sewing room while I'm going and unstitching using the Peggy Stitch Eraser. So I'll go ahead if I want to sit in my backyard, or if I'm going somewhere, whatever, and I have to undo some type of embroidery, I'll take the cordless with me. I make sure that it's fully charged, and then I just go ahead and I take it with me, so that way I can start doing the taking that out while I'm doing my thing, so just something to think about. Okay, now and then the corded is the one that I use when I'm sitting in here. Okay, the one thing that I do like about the corded, because it's corded, it gets full power all the time. When you get the wireless one, as the battery starts to run out, it starts to get a little weak on cutting the stitches. So just something to think about, okay? Let me see. So let's talk about stabilizers, okay? A lot of my stabilizer, I will tell you right up front, I do get them from Amazon.com. I do also get them from All Stitch as well. I am not very particular about brand of stabilizer. I'm more with the type of weight and the type of stabilizer that I'm using, okay? Like, for instance, the ones that I use a lot is Sticky Stabilizer, okay? I use that a lot when I am, like I did with embroidering shoelaces, embroidering dinner napkins. Sometimes I'll use Sticky Stabilizer. It depends on what it is that I'm doing. I use my cutaway that I use for clothing whenever I'm embroidering logo on polo shirts and all that stuff. I always like to buy pre-cut, and sometimes if I am a little bit short on cash, I will go ahead and I will buy the roll. The reason why I buy the roll is because I can cut my own stabilizer. Right now, is there a big difference between the cut and the uncut stabilizer? There is. Is it that much of a big thing? It can be. I'm not sure. Mello, what are you doing? I think he's into something. So, it just depends. Okay. So, but like I said, if you want to use, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to see. Mello, what are you doing? Can I see? What are you doing? He's, all right, I'm just checking on you. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It's just that I need to check on Mello because you can see he's right there and he's probably doing, he gets into stuff. So I always got to watch him. I don't know why he's always into doing something. So I always got to watch him and everything because they're dogs. They don't know, So anyway. So stabilizers, it depends. I'm not really particular on the brand, okay? They all seem to work for me. So, I use cutaway. I use tearaway. I use no-show mesh. I use Sticky Stabilizer. Let me see. I also have different types of weights of stabilizer, okay? I do have heavy stabilizer. And I usually use medium weight stabilizer when it comes to the cutaway. Now, why would I do that? Because it depends on what you are embroidering on, okay? If you have a piece of fabric that is very, very thin, like let's say somebody comes to you with a logo shirt and the logo shirt is very, very thin, and yet the design is very dense, you're not going to be able to use lightweight fabric with that, because what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of puckering. That's what's going to happen. So you have to actually really learn about what type of stabilizer to use with what type of fabric, along with the type of embroidery that you're going to do, okay? So I know that's a mouthful, and I know that's a lot, but that is something that you're going to learn through experience, especially if you're new to embroidery. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, but it is part of the learning process. So don't get mad. Just learn from the mistakes so that way you can get better, okay? Another thing, that I want to talk to you guys, because I just glanced over here and I saw glue. Sometimes when you're sewing, you like to use glue. When would you use glue? You would use glue if you need to make sure that fabric doesn't shift. I use a lot of that. I use a lot of tape when I am trying to sew zippers and stuff like that, because you don't want the zipper to shift while you're trying to sew it and all that kind of stuff. And then sometimes when I am trying to fold fabric and I need it to be a certain like crease, I like to use glue. Now, one thing that I just recently learned is glue sticks versus regular glue. Which is better, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I bought glue sticks and big regret, really huge regret, and I'm going to tell you why. Every time I took the glue stick and I ran it across the fabric, I used a lot of glue. That glue stick only lasted for one project. Then I was finished. I couldn't even finish the project with that glue stick. I had to actually go to my other glue. So that goes to show how much glue you use sometimes when you're using the glue stick. So to me, if you use glue for your sewing projects, stay away from the glue sticks. It's not worth it. It really is. You're wasting your money because it's not worth it. Okay. So this is one of the things that I learned, is that a lot of times people do is they use Elmore's glue. Now, I bought these little tips, and I got these off of Etsy, believe it or not. I got it from an Etsy shop, and I really love this because I can open this up, and then look, I have a really sharp little point there. And it makes it really good because all I have to do is just go like this. I don't want any glue to come out. And then I have to just squeeze it, and then the glue just comes out. And I just make little dots and stuff. And I find that this glue ends up lasting a long time. These little tops that I purchased off of Etsy, I really do love it because look, this top actually has a little stick that's right in here, okay? And the stick actually goes into that tube, and it helps clean it. It helps to keep it clean so that way it doesn't get like stuffed. Because I don't know if you guys notice, like right here, I have this glue, right? And then look at the gunk that I have in the top. See? So then what ends up happening is I have to clean that glunk, that glunk or whatever, the stuff I have on the top. And then I have to take a pin, and then I just got to go like this in it just so that I can get that opening again so that I can use the glue stick, okay? Now, and I really like these because I get to like turn them and stuff, and it really works really well. Now, the packet that I bought came with 2, and I have the other one right here. And one of the things that I plan on doing is I plan on using this one on the other glues that I use. Like this is like a liquid stitch. Okay, this is a very good one, and I know this can fit right on it, so I can actually use this. So, you know, I like using glue sometimes when I sew because it really helps to make sure that when you are sewing, your creases and everything stay right and your fabric doesn't shift or anything like that. So it's like really, really cool. But if you can get your hands on one of these glue tip tops, I say grab it because I really do. I think it's worth every penny. And if I see them again, I'm actually probably going to buy 2 more just so I can have them handy so that when I am using my other glues, you know, that I have, you know, I can top them off with that too, you know, and stuff. So, you know, I think these are like pretty cool. Now, the glues, you know, for embroidery, I don't really use it that much. But I do use the Elmer's glue a lot. I got this idea from the Crafty Puerto Rican because she sometimes uses it. And I was like, oh, and then I used it and I was like, it works. So inexpensive glue. So if you're sewing, use it. I mean, this is like really, really cool. It works for me and stuff like that. Okay, so let me see. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the embroidery side on the hoops. What time is it? Whoa, am I past the time? Okay, I'm at 9:10. You guys should have said something to me. Anyway, but let's talk about hoops, okay? And then I'll leave it at that because then, you know, because we could go all night going through this whole room, I tell you, because I got so much stuff, okay? So, Hoops is so important when it comes to embroidery. The reason being is because that is what is going to hold the fabric as you are doing the embroidery using the machine, right? So the type of hoop that you use is not something that you're going to want to skimp on. Now, whether you're using a flatbed or a multi-needle machine, the hoop is just as important. But however, the type of hoop that you use is going to be different. So when it comes to the flatbed machines, I actually use the hoops that come with the machine, which is usually the plastic hoops that come like this. Now, there have been times when I have purchased other hoops, like I have magnetic hoops. I also have hat hoops for the flatbed machines. Those are just as good. They have several purposes as well, okay? So it depends on what I'm embroidering that will determine the type of hoop or size that I use. However, though, you don't want to, if you ever have to purchase a hoop, you want to make sure that it's good quality, because this is something you're going to use not some of the time, all of the time regarding embroidery, all right? So this is not something that you want to skimp on, okay? So just make sure that you're aware of that. So, because sometimes you do see that there's some hoops out there, and you see that they're like extremely light. The plastic is very flimsy, and just be careful, because I'm telling you, if you end up getting a hoop that's really, really cheap, what's probably going to happen is it can end up breaking on you. You want stuff that's really going to last, all right? Because the thing is, if you buy something cheap and it breaks, you go, okay, well, that's fine, I'll buy it again. But think about this. You already spent it the first time. Now you're going to spend money the second time. If you added both of those expenditures, you could have just went ahead and just bought the good brand. I'm just saying, okay? So just something to think about, okay? So also, now let's talk about the multi-needle hoops. The multi-needle hoops. You believe that? Okay, the multi-needle machines, okay? Now, the multi-needle machines come with their own hoops as well, okay? They come with the plastic hoops and everything. I know people that use those hoops all the time, and they're perfectly happy with them. It works for them, no problem. And I think that's cool. However, though, I kind of got a little spoiled, okay? I went and I purchased the Mighty hoops. I actually love them. I think that I hoop faster with those. I hoop faster. They hold the items really good. They make it easier for me, okay? And really, they are just as good as the hoops that come with the machine. The only thing is, because they're magnetic, I just feel that it's easier for me to hoop my items with it. It's much quicker, and I'm good, right? And the thing is, I actually embroider for business, so time is important to me, okay? The only downside with the Mighty hoops is really the price, okay? But I'm going to tell you something. As expensive as those items are, they are worth every dollar. And I'm telling you, and it's just coming from someone that is like so super cheap that I fight for all my money, okay? I have 2 hoop stations, one for the single needle, one for the multi-needle. I have every single size of hoop. I've used every single one of them. I've used all my hooping stations. I have spent, I believe, close to $3,000 on hoops alone for my multi-needle machines, okay, for that company, Mighty Hoops. So I'm gonna tell you something, worth every penny. So if you are interested in that, in the video description, I do have the link. And if you use Boricua on your coupon code, you will get the free shipping. You're going to want the free shipping, because those magnetic hoops are very heavy, and they can cost a little pretty penny when it comes to the shipping. Okay, so you're going to want to use that code, so that way you can save some money there. So, yeah, but hoops is something that I would definitely invest in. Make sure that you're purchasing good quality hoops. You don't want to skimp on them, because that's not something that you're going to use sometimes. You're going to use them all the time, because without a hoop, you're not embroidering anything. And now, since I'm mentioning that, let's talk a little bit about bobbins, okay? Bobbins, I use the pre-wand, okay? There are 2 types, you can make your own bobbins. If you have a flatbed machine, you can go ahead and you can make your own bobbins. That will save you some money. You can buy the bobbin thread, and you can do that. If you're good at that, and you're okay with it, that's fine. However, I actually buy the pre-wanded bobbins because they're pretty inexpensive. It's like, I mean, they are more money if you than if you were to buy um your own comb of bobbin thread and create your own bobbins. But my whole thing is they're kind of like a time saver. You get like 100 in a box. I think they're like $24 a box, and you get 100 of them. They're all neatly woven. They're really good quality and stuff. And because I just feel like you get your a good amount of thread in those boxes. So I always bought pre-winded bobbins and stuff. I also, for the multi-needle machines, I do use the magnetic bobbins. I purchased mine from Hab Plus Dash. In order to purchase from that company, though, the only downside is you do have to have a business license, okay? So they can sell it to you at the wholesale price. If not, then you're not going to be able to get any of the threads, because the bobbins or the threads from them, because they are strict about that. So you do have to have a business license in order for you to have an account with them, and they do ask for the proof of that. So it's not like you could say yeah and then get an account. You actually have to send them the documentation and all that stuff in order for them to create the account. But they do have really the best prices when it comes to the bobbins, for the multi-needle machines. Needles. Let's talk about needles. Needles, I use the organ needles. I do buy my needles from allstitch.com. I feel, but I mean, they got good prices. However, you could get them from Amazon if you want to, and you could probably pick them up at Joann's, and you could probably even pick them up at Hobby Lobby. I think, no, I don't think they do. In Walmart, I'm not sure. I think in Walmart you get the Swartz needles. But Swartz are a very good brand too. So don't shy away from those. If you see them, pick up a pack, because they are good as well. I do have a couple of boxes of those. But when I buy my needles, I buy bulk. Huge bulk. Same thing like with my bobbins. When I place an order for bobbins, I actually order like 10 boxes. And when I do the same thing with the needles, when I order needles, I usually order like 1,000 needles at a time, okay? Because I use needles a lot, okay? And every time I change the needles in all my machines, I'm already changing in my multi-needle machines. That's 26 needles that I change. And then I have my on my quilting machine, it's a whole different size. I use a 90/40 on my Juki that I have behind me right now. My other machine is also, I use a 75/11 on the SC1900, and then I have my sergers. And my sergers, I use a 90/14 on those as well. So, I do use a lot of needles, okay? So, because I use my machines a lot, I have to change my needles a lot, So, every week I am probably disposing about 26 needles. So, for me to go through 1,000 needles, per year is nothing really for me, because especially during the holidays, depending on my orders and my workload and stuff, and even at my local orders, if I have a lot of orders and stuff, you shouldn't be using a needle more than 8 hours, okay? Because after a while, the needle starts to get dull, and it will mess up your embroidery. It's not going to look as crisp and clean as a really nice, clean, sharp needle. That is one thing that I find out embroiderers make a big mistake on, is that they really don't take the time to change out their needles the way they should. Hold on. I want to make sure that I plug you guys back in. So, people sometimes don't, hold on. Okay, good. I'm good. People really sometimes they don't think about these things, and then what happens is, like, they'll start a project and their embroidery comes out looking really, really nice, and then after, like, they're doing it for like the 20th time, they start noticing a difference in the appearance of the embroidery, right? And then they start saying, "Oh, my bobbin thread is showing," or the the embroidery just isn't looking as clean, right? Because now it's like they're seeing a little bit of spacing between the stitches that wasn't there before. And usually that's because you end up having problems because you're not checking your tension, and you're also not changing your needles. So something that's really, really important is make sure you get good quality needles. If you get titanium needles, you can usually go past 8 hours of sewing, because there are better quality of needles, so you can sew a lot longer than they are. But titanium needles are more expensive because of the material that needle is made out of. Okay, it's really to last longer, so you're paying for that. Okay, so it's just something to think about. So anyway, guys, but that is the stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. There is just so much more that I can share. Like, for instance, we could talk about blanks. I like to buy my blanks from Alibaba, because it's the same quality blanks as if you buy anywhere else. If you don't think that the blanks that you're buying from someone, from another shop or whatever, isn't coming from there, you're kind of like, okay. Believe me, they're coming from overseas. If you can, but this is the only thing too about ordering overseas. You don't get your shipments right away, right? You can't get them that quick, or else you're going to pay a pretty penny, right? So what ends up happening is when I place my orders, they're coming by sea. So usually the order doesn't really get here for another like 2 months, which is okay because I always pace my reorders, right? So, and I don't need them right away because I already know it's gonna take 2 months, so I don't mind. But just know that, and you are buying from overseas. It depends on what it is too and how much of it that you need. For instance, like my baby blankets, I do get them from over there because I do sell a lot of those. And then also, if you only need blank, that's like one or two, go to Target, go to Walmart. Just get a pack of Carter's baby onesies or something like that. Buy a regular t-shirt and stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive. It really doesn't. You can get blanks from almost anywhere. Okay, so if you want a pair of dinner napkins, you can get them real cheap on Amazon or something like that, or you can go to Walmart or even Target if you're looking for a particular texture or style. That way you can touch and feel them. If they didn't close the Bed Bath and Beyond by you, I don't even know if they're still in business, but they sell a lot of stuff too that you can get and embroider as well. I know the Bed Bath and Beyond by me, they closed shop. So it's like, oh, okay. So and I knew they were having some financial trouble and stuff like that, but I don't know if they're fine or if they're still open in some places. I don't know. So, and then talk about businesses being in trouble. I mean, Joann's, I don't know, I think they're having a hard time and stuff like that. I think what's happening too is that people that are really professional sewers too, Joann's is a good place, don't get me wrong, but I am going to tell you something. I think Miss Banks kind of messed me up, I'll tell you that, okay? Because I used to always buy my fabrics from Hobby Lobby and Joann. And then I remember I picked her up for the first time that I was going to the Sew and Quill show. And I picked her up, we were driving, and she was telling me, hey, you're going to see what real fabric is supposed to feel like. And I was like, real fabric is supposed to be like, what are you talking about? She said, there's a difference in the quality of fabric. And I was like, huh? Well, I'm going to tell you something. She taught me a thing or two, because as soon as I stepped in there and she went over to some of the fabric tables, she said, she pulled some fabric up, she put it in my hand, and she said, I want you to feel it. And then I'm like feeling it, and she said, feel how thick it is. Feel how thick it is. Feel the quality. Now, I'm going to tell you, I bought some of that fabric that she was showing me, right, to feel. And at first I didn't think none of it because I was thinking, oh, okay, it's okay. I mean, it's no big deal. It's fabric, right? So I come home and then I took it out of the bag and then I put it next to the fabric that I purchased from Joann's. And I started to feel them next to each other. And I am going to tell you that kind of changed me in a way. It really did because I was kind of like, oh, I could see what Miss Banks is talking about. The the fabric that I felt from Joann's, and it's not that it was bad fabric, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's just that you could tell that there was a difference in the texture of that fabric. I used to sometimes go to Walmart and I would get like a yard or two from Walmart, and then I would go to Joann's and get a yard or two, Hobby Lobby and stuff. But then I noticed that it's thin. It's very thin fabric. The cotton fabric is very thin. And then when I touched the fabric that I got from the Sewing and Quilt Show, I noticed that it was a lot thicker, heavier. You could just tell right off the bat the quality was a huge difference, very very huge difference. When she taught me that, she kind of ruined me for the other fabrics because now when I go to places like Hobby Lobby, Joann, or Walmart and I look at fabric, when I am buying it, I'm thinking about how I'm planning on using it, right? So, like, give you an example. If I see a nice pattern and I'm like, oh, I'm going to cut a bunch of dinner napkins out of that fabric because I like the way it looks. I actually reach for it and I look to see. And I'm going to tell you something. It's got to be very good, high quality fabric in order for me to take that fabric and cut it into dinner napkins and use my serger to do the rolled hem on the edges and initial it. So that way, I can use it on my dinner table. Because the last thing I want is to have like a papery feeling fabric as a dinner napkin, right? So I take into account what I'm going to be using that fabric for, and that will determine whether I can go economic on my fabric and I can go with the coupon and go to Joann's or whatever, or you know what, I want to spend the extra bucks and I need good quality fabric because I'm going to be using that fabric to make a bag, or do or a dinner napkin or a placemat or something or a pillowcase or something that I'm really going to use, and I need really top notch quality fabric for. So that's something else that that goes through my mind and stuff when I'm looking to shop for stuff. Always keep in mind what it is that you're trying to accomplish, how you're going to use it, also because that's going to determine the longevity of the item. If you're going to be using it for a long time, how many times are you going to wash it, how many times are you going to put it in the dryer. That's also going to determine the type of fabric you're going to use, because you got to remember, if you use very cheap fabric, very paperish fabric, chances are that the colors might fade on you. The fabric is not going to hold well in all those washes and all the drying. And that's something else too that you have to consider if you are selling. So if you are sewing stuff so that you can sell, you want to make sure that what you are sewing, you're going to be using high quality fabric, because the last thing you want is to sell something, like make something as simple as like a coin case or something like that, and then you sell it, and then the person uses it, and then after a month they come on and go, oh, the fabric just ripped, it just fell apart, and all it is a coin case. Next thing you know, you're going to end up with bad reviews because you didn't use good quality fabric. And also think about this too. You gotta cut that into the cost when you sell, right? Because if you are using cheap fabric, of course you're not going to charge that much because it didn't really cost that much. But if you use high quality fabric, you're going to price it a little more because you want to recoup those costs. But at the same time, when people do receive the item, people, believe me, they notice these things. I know I do. I have started buying like handbags off of Etsy, and leather handbags, and I gotta tell you, I used to buy, I still own them, but I used to be heavy. My sister will tell you. I mean, I was Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, the name brands. I mean, I was just that. Those were my bags. Okay, I would have the tote bags, the small bags, the wallets, the coin cases, everything. Okay. But then I think what happened is as time went on, I was like, wait a minute, I'm spending thousands of dollars on these bags, and these bags, you know, they're good quality, they're good leather and stuff like that. But I don't know, it wasn't the leather that I kind of wanted. You know, I kind of like the old fashioned Coach where it was like real leather, right? So I started going on Etsy, and then I would type leather tote bag, and I ordered one. And one of the things that really impressed me was as soon as I opened that box, that smell of leather just like slapped me in the face. And then when I looked at the quality of the bag, it was true, true leather, and these were sewn and beautiful products. So it's like now it's like I have my closet, it's like I have designer bags and it's still there. But you know, my husband laughs because you know, he's like, what happened to your designer bags? Now I use all of the leather products that I buy off of Etsy that people make, because first of all, they're not thousands of dollars, you know. I mean, I think the most I spent on a bag from Etsy was like probably, I don't know, $110, and good quality leather. And I mean, hey, I liked it. You know, it was really good. So it was something, you know, this just goes to show that, you know, sometimes fabric matters. You know, the type of fabric that you use really does matter and stuff, you know. And now I'm getting coin cases that are leather and all that kind of stuff, and I just love it. I think it's good quality stuff, and you know, very reasonably priced as well. So, you know, yeah. So, be careful with the fabric that you buy. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, don't buy the cheap stuff, but what I'm saying is keep in mind how you're using it and stuff. And if you're selling, just keep that in mind too, because that can kind of hamper your sales a little bit. That's kind of like goes along with what I say about using very cheap, economical embroidery thread. If you are, you know, into the selling and embroidery services and stuff like that, you want to make sure you use good quality thread, because that is really going to enhance the design. It really is. You don't want, you want not only to for the design to look great, but you want it to look great for many years to come, because that's really what's going to stand you out. Believe me, customers are very unforgiving. The moment that they buy something from you, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, the embroidery fades, or they have some kind of issue or whatever, they will never forget. They will never forget. Okay, so it's just something to think about and stuff. So it's already like 10 o'clock. Oh my God. Okay, so I know I talked a lot today. I really did, because I wanted to show you guys stuff. But you know, Amazon is having Prime Day, and I think it starts on my birthday, which is the 16th. Because I was yeah, so Tuesday's my birthday. Made it another year. I'm still breathing, still kicking, still living. And hopefully I can live past another 2 more, because I retire in 2 years. So I, you know, after that, then it's just me. I'm just gonna kick back and just breathe, and just embroider full time. That's what I really want to do. I just want to focus on this and embroidering and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I made it another year, still alive and kicking. So far, pretty good life. Yeah, so I'm living it on. Okay, so I'm gonna go down the chat. I want to say hi to everybody as always. You know, and thank you so much for spending Sunday. I am, you know, I got so much stuff going on that I'm a mess. You know, because like you guys know, I still work full time, so it's like up in the morning, going in the office, doing my thing, then coming home, and then got to run this nonstop. And you know, it's like, and even my friends are like, "Hey, are you alive?" Like my friend Sandra called me the other day, and she was like checking up on you, girl, to make sure you're okay, and that embroidery machine didn't eat you up, because I have kind of been a little bit antisocial lately. Because I've been so busy with everything that honestly, I don't have the time. And I did take a week off. I closed shop for a whole week because I wanted some time for me, some mental time. And I did nothing. I thought to myself that I was going to reach out to some friends and hang out and stuff and do stuff, but what ended up doing was that whole week I just, I still had to go to work for my daytime, but I came home and I just didn't want to do any more embroidery. I didn't want to do any sewing or anything. And I just literally like lay down and just hung out with Mello and just watched movies with him in the evenings when I came home and just relaxed. I just wanted to do that. But I will tell you, I loved every moment of it. I really did, because I was like, oh, and I think Mello loved it too. Even though he got a little sick of watching all the movies with me, because a couple of times I saw him sleeping and I would wake him up and go, did you see that? Even though I know he's just a dog, but that's my buddy. But yeah, so it felt really nice. And then I actually went for some nice long walks with him. So it was really nice. It was nice to have that time, that was like pretty cool and stuff like that. But you can't do that forever, so I'm back to work. So I am, with the embroidery machines on. I changed all my needles today because tomorrow I'll get up early in the morning and fill some orders and just keep going. So anyway, and when I wake up, I got 2 other things that I need to do before I send out my gift out. If I don't finish it by noon tomorrow, mine will definitely be in the mail on Monday. Okay. So let me say hi to everybody on the chat. I see Kim. How are you? How you doing, Kim Cass? Hey, Iris. I see Angela Stitches. Judy Sassy Eartha. Hey, Robin. How you doing? Hey, Jenny. I see Cindy, Jackie. Hey, Allison. How are you? Iris. Miss Miller, how are you? Hey, Marsha, Tammy. I see Lydia McQueen, Tina Lou, Robin Quilt Basket, Emma, how are you? Judy, Jenny. Hey, Giant Services, how are you? Pearl Lucas. I see all you guys are saying hi to each other. Hey, Pretty Eyes, how you doing? I know it's got to be hot in Florida because I know Nancy's complaining about that heat. Hey, Miss Parker, how are you? I see Ozzy in the house. Let's see. Who else we got out here? Hey, Judy Bauer, I see. And I see Jenny Owens. Everybody's talking about Ozzy's rooster, which came out really nice. I liked it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he did a video. I think it was a video. He took a picture of him wearing his apron with the rooster. It was a lot of stitches, beautifully made, and that's what I'm talking about when I talk about quality embroidery. Okay, it's like you really have to practice, and you can tell he knocked it out of the park. That came out gorgeous. I love the colors that he chose. Crisp, clean, loved it. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, Shirley, how are you? Hey, Danielle, how's it going? Hey, Erica, how are you? And Erica's going to come on here on this show. She thinks I'm going to let her off the hook. No, she's not. She is going to be on this show. She does the proxy cups, and I want her to show us how she does that and stuff. So I am going to keep on her and everything. So she's going to get on here, even if I have to drag her to my house. She's going to do it. Hey, Black Doll, how are you? Hey, Pearl. Hey, Annette, how are you? I see the whole crew's on out tonight. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? Nancy's still working on volume 2 of her album. If you guys don't know, she's got that quilt album. I don't have the cover with me. I should always have the cover with me. How come I don't have the cover? How am I going to... Oh, here it is. So if you guys don't know, this is my sister's album. Okay, she is doing... It's going really well also. This is like going... It's really, really well and stuff. Love every song on there and stuff. She's doing really good. So she's working on volume 2 right now. And so I can't wait for that one to come out. I never would have known that she was a songwriter. I gotta tell you, boy. Oh, And here it is. I want to say something for those of you guys that follow Nancy. She is posting on here that she is changing the time because her son has paddleboarding competition with the Special Olympics. So she's gonna still do it tomorrow, but it's gonna be at a different time and stuff. So yeah. So she, just to let you guys know, if you guys follow her, because she usually does Saturday craft noon. You know, on 12 o'clock. Sorry, I thought I lost you guys. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so woo, that was tough. Okay, I hope I'm back on live. Oh my goodness. I think I hit a button by mistake. Sorry. So anyway, here you go. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, hold on. Do you guys see me? Oh. Okay, I'm typing. Do you guys see me? Oh, Rita, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks. Okay, good. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Woo, I think I hit a button. Okay, so I was just doing a magic trick for you guys. Gone, back. Okay, so sorry guys. Oh, I just saw the super chat. Thank you so much, Rita. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, we got a lot of July babies on here. Okay, I don't got Miss Shirley just had her birthday this month too. I have my birthday this month. I think Ozzy has his birthday this month, so there's a lot of July birthdays in our family. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah, and it looks like Denise had a birthday too and stuff. But yeah, I'm making another year. I'm making another year of it. Hey, Arlene Baker, how are you? Just saw your name out there. Hey, Lady Fair. Oh, okay. She says she ordered online from Soye, Etsy, and others. I order from Soye as well, and they have very, very good quality fabric. I actually like their fabric a lot. I really, truly do. You know, it's quality fabric is I'm telling you, she ruined me. Miss Banks ruined me. She did. When she showed me the difference between it, I said, I will never buy cheap fabric again. It really did. It made a difference. It really, truly did. And stuff. And my sister had also like showed me that as well when I went to go visit her. Because she likes to look at different types of fabric. But Nancy actually likes the economical fabric because, you know, she's just as cheap as I am. But once in a while she'll get some good quality fabric. But like I said, it depends on what it is that she's making as well. Did you have a birthday? It's coming up, Ozzy. My birthday is actually on the 16th. So it's on Tuesday. And this week coming up. So yeah, so the people at my job don't know it, but I'm gonna get a birthday cake and I'm gonna take it to work. And I'm gonna make everybody at my job sing happy birthday to me, whether they like me or not. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, okay, everybody, let's sing happy birthday. So I'll probably bring cupcakes or something like that. So that way everybody can just sing happy birthday and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, it's my birthday. I'm getting up there. Yep, I see that you guys lost me. That I'm back in town. Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate it. That's my coworker right there. Working on the questions. Okay. Don't work so hard. Just be natural. You guys really love Erica too. I kind of like her. She's like so down to earth. I really do. I just feel like it's kind of funny because sometimes when me and her are talking, I'm like, gosh, she's so much like me. I really like her because it's like she'll tell you how it is. You never have to guess how she feels at that moment. If I get on her nerves, she has no problem turning around, looking at me and going, Jeanette, you are getting on my nerves. And I'll be like, oh, okay. And I do the same thing to her. So I love it when I have when I come across people like that, because I'm like, oh man, she's real, just like me. There's like no phoniness, no nothing. You get what you get, and I love that. I love working with people like that, because if you're messing up, they're gonna turn around. They're gonna say, hey, you screwed up. You know, they're not gonna sugarcoat anything, and I love the honesty and stuff like that. So I really do like working with her and stuff. I love it when she comes in. But yeah, I'm gonna make everybody sing happy birthday to me on Tuesday, because I got old. I made another year. And honestly, guys, I didn't think that I was ever going to live past 50. Honestly. Seriously. Because I always thought I would probably go early and stuff. But, yeah, here I am. I'm past 55. I am going to turn 56. And then I'll be retiring at 57 and a half. So I'll be like... So hopefully I can live longer, and stuff. Take care. She does, Jenny. She takes very good care of me. We take care of each other and stuff. Yep. We do work well together. I will tell you, boy. I mean, Erica will set me straight. Even and there are times like she's always in the room when I'm briefing and stuff like that. And I'll let her know. And like when I'm done briefing and stuff, I'll ask her, I go, so what you think? How do you think I did? She'll tell me in a minute if I messed up. She'll be like, girl, you a mess. Go home. I mean, she'll tell me. And then she'll go, you did good. I know that whatever, it's going to be honest, Some of my other friends, though, some of my other coworkers, how sometimes people just say things to be nice. No, she won't say things to be nice. She tells you raw, just like me, which is probably why sometimes some people don't like me that much, because, I'll tell them right up the cuff. I'll be like, you could have done better, But anyway, enough about work. She takes care of me too. I do. I do. Because we're gonna sink or swim together. Jeanette, that's negative thinking, so stop it. I know. No, but seriously, I didn't think I was gonna have a long life. I'll be honest with you. I really didn't. But hey, I made it, so we'll see. Get it open. I had it since Christmas. I guess somebody held on to their stuff, So anyway, guys, so remember, the gift exchanges, make sure you mail them out by Monday, okay? Please, 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 I'm serious from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget to do that. Remember, the whole purpose of this is so that you make a gift for someone and you're going to get a gift from someone, okay? I don't want anyone out there to not receive something. It's supposed to be really super special, okay? And then on the 26th, is it the 26th? Yes, on July 26th is when we're going to do the show and tell live. That's where I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the link out there. You guys can come on live with me and we're going to show each other's stuff off, okay? That's when you can, if you want, you can open up your present live, or you can open it up and then, join us live, and then you can get on and then you can show us what you got. So, like I said, I love watching it. I've done this several times in the past, twice actually. And if you want, and if you look on the channel, you can actually find those videos and you can see. And it's actually pretty awesome, some of the things that people do for each other. I mean, it's like really, really cool. Love it, love it, love it. So it's really a great way to lift somebody's spirits, and to, because when you're a crafter and you sew and you make things, a lot of times what happens is, like I said before, you're the one in the family or the circle of friends that always makes these unique gifts for people, right? But what ends up happening is sometimes your friends may not be, crafters or sewers or embroiderers. So what I end up doing is they'll just go to Macy's and get you a gift card and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a nice gift. It is a nice gift, but it's not that same special gift as if someone was to actually make something for you, right? Because it's a special feeling, because when you know that somebody actually did something for you, it it's a special feeling. Like, for instance, so like right now I'm looking at this. This is something that Miss Banks made for me, and this is a mug rug. And she put her little label in the back, and she put Boricua Sewing and Crafts, which is the channel's name. And just this right here, knowing that she did this is special, because to me it's like she was thinking of me. She made this for me, that someone had took the time. And these things are time consuming. These are not things that is just like take a stamp and just stamp on it. Okay, she had to take the time to pick the type of font to use. She had to take the time to center it correctly. She had to take the time to put all the fabrics, coordinate the fabrics, put everything together. So that's what I mean when you get something like this from someone. It really is a special feeling, because you know that someone has actually taken the time to make something for you. It's really different. Okay, where's a good place to order the labels? Marsha, what I usually do is I get them right off of Amazon, because I find that they're more economical there. Okay, I get the satin ones. I buy them by the 1,000, and I think 1,000 of them cost me, I think it was like $60, something like that. I do have the link on my my Amazon gift storefront. Okay, I have the link. If you can't find it there, ask me on Facebook, and then I'll post the link there, so you and everybody else can just see where it is that I get them from. I find that they're more economical there. Okay, and I use my labels for my kitchen towels and all that kind of stuff and everything. So, but yeah. So this is what I mean. This is why I do the gift exchanges, because it really provides an opportunity for people to, first of all, make friends with other people that have the same type of interest, and also not only make a special gift for someone, but also receive a special gift from someone as well. So I hope everything kind of works out and stuff. I am planning on sending a gift to all the people that participated in this event. Okay, we have about, I think it's 60 something people that participating. I think there's 60 of us, or maybe I'm wrong, but I believe we're in the 60s. I'm not sure. I forget the numbers, because I do compliance numbers at my job all day long, so I'm like confused. It's like anyway. Stay away from the statistics for now, but I should have checked before I got on the live. But there is quite a number of us that have done the Christmas in July event, and I did get a little special something for everybody that's participating in it. So I hope to have them all mailed out on Monday, along with my giftster. If not, then I am planning on mailing them out. You should definitely have them by the 26th. Hopefully, it's just a little token of thank you for those that participated in the event. Because I like to do that. I've done mugs. The first two gift exchanges, I gave everybody mugs. The third gift exchange, I gave everybody a little notebook with a little pen that said "You're awesome." This time is something different. I think what I'm doing is I'm looking for, every time we have a gift exchange, a little something, and it's just something from me to all of you guys to say thank you for participating in it. Because I really, helping me make our community an awesome place and stuff like that. So hope you guys like that when you get it and stuff. All right, so I am going to, call it the night, because I did talk a lot. I think I focused too much on the scissors today, but it's just that I had so many freaking scissors, and I thought I was going to be able to go through so many things. Like, and you guys have seen in my past videos, I have talked a lot about some of the stuff that I buy. Some of it is pretty inexpensive. For instance, like cleaning brushes is another thing. Don't go spending too much money on the cleaning brushes. You can go to dollar store, or you can go to Five and Below. I mean, they have these little makeup you know, it's supposed to be makeup brushes, but this is really a great tool to go to clean your embroidery machines. Don't go, you know, spending so much money, you know, on that. But you know, it's just brushes. That's all it is. Just make sure that they're nice and soft, and they usually are, because if they're makeup brushes, they're nice and soft. But this is perfect to clean your embroidery machine, so don't worry about it. You know. And then another quick thing too, real quick, disposable. You can use this to clean your embroidery machines. Just be a little bit careful, because these can be a little rough. Okay, it can be a little rough, so just be careful when you're cleaning it out and stuff like that. So anyway, but I'm gonna stop now, because I can go on and on, because I can look at my stuff and go, oh, let me tell you about this, let me tell you about that, let me tell you why I bought that and why I bought this. It can, you know, we could be here till next Friday if I showed you everything. So I'm gonna call it the night. So I will talk to you guys later. And if you guys like the information that I shared with you guys, please give me a thumbs up. It helps the channel a lot. I am almost up to 18,000 subscribers. I think I'm at 17,900 and something, okay? But I think I was like 29 subscribers shy of hitting 18,000. I cannot believe that the channel has grown that much. I remember at one time when I only had 2 subscribers, when it was just me and my husband, you know, and then Carlito subscribed. He was number 3. And then a co-worker of mine, Adrian, she subscribed. She was number 4. And now I'm up to 18,000. I'm like, wow. That's weird. That's wild. But that's okay. I mean, you know, like I said, as long as I help one person, I'm good. I'm happy. And I enjoy doing this. It's my little thing to do. So anyway, guys, have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the information. Don't spend too much money out there. Like I said, you know, just be smart about it. You know, think about what you're getting. Make sure that, you know, you go cheap where you should go cheap. Buy quality when you should be buying quality. And have fun sewing and embroidering and stuff. And as always, if you have any questions or anything like that, post it on our Facebook group. If I can't answer the questions, someone from the group can. And, you know, just enjoy the process. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good one. Good night. Good night, everyone.